I don't understand how so many people just seem content with their lives. I don't know what it is, whether a whole bunch of people are like NPCs or just completely satisfied with the small, mundane, insignificant way of living. I wouldn't even call it living, but I suppose it's to each their own. But it just seems like, in my opinion, that's probably a cause for some of the mental health issues in America and whatnot, is people aren't actually seeking to do anything with their lives. They go to school, go to work, live for the weekend, live for a party, like the stereotypical movies. Like, I don't get it. Robert Kiyosaki has said this several times throughout podcasts, and I think even in some of his books I've read, he pretty much says the same like 4 lines over and over, and that is, the programming you receive that pretty much keeps you in a state of a poor mindset is go to school, get a job, pay taxes, buy a house, die. Pretty much like, essentially what you are is just like a giant money machine for those who are actually in charge, who are actually in control. And it just baffles me. Like, you could do so much with your existence and actually create a life for yourself, but you don't. Like, people talk about celebrities and new movies coming out, and to me it's just like, okay, so, and they're like, oh, you don't understand, like, this movie, or did you hear about this celebrity, this, it's like, you don't have anything better to like put your attention and energy on. Like, you're the main character of the story, you're the one you should be living for, and yet it's like you're more focused on being a supporting cast member of like a show or movie. Like, I just don't get it. Like, do something with your life, actually try to make something out of it. You don't have to like change the world, but like, holy crap, you know? And this is not a dig at artists in any way whatsoever, but it's like, you could become the best painter in the nation or whatever. You could just like commit to like martial arts and become like a world level athlete, like, and people are just scrolling social media, getting drunk, consuming substances, drugs, whatever, not even a care in the world. Or what a lot of them will do is they just talk about how, yeah, that'd be nice, like as if it's like not possible, or if it's a foreign concept. Like, yeah, you know, maybe if the world was different. It's like, well, why don't you make the world different? There's like a quote or something that it's pretty much, it says, all external change takes place after the internal change. If you would just reprogram your mind, reconstruct your belief system, reprogram what you know, believe, think, all this, that, your life will change. You just have to actually commit to it. Again, it's It's baffling to me. I don't understand it. Like, people will just game for hours. They'll watch all these movies, binge shows, all this, that, Netflix, whatever. Go out drinking. It's like, that's really what you want to do with your life? You're not even thinking ahead. You're not even long-term thinking like, oh, maybe when I'm 70, I'll look back and be like, shit, I should have actually done something with my life. No. Just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Just do something with your life. Try to do something positive, meaningful, impactful with your life. Just go for it. See what's possible. And I think, forget who it was some philosopher. I'm blanking. I should know this. I think it was between Marcus Aurelius, Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle. I think it was one of them who said something along the lines of, anyone who distracts themselves with pleasure has not found a deep meaning in their life, or has not created a deep meaning in their life. And it's like, yeah, like, if you have the time to just give it all to pleasures, either you pretty much completed the game and there's nothing left to do, or you just don't care enough. You don't actually care. Now, maybe that's like actually the programming of your environment, what you've experienced, what you've been taught, whatnot. Maybe you just don't care about your actual existence. Like, if you imagine your own funeral, do you want people to be like, yeah, he was a nice guy, great guy, whatever? Yeah, he was like at that job for 30 years, whatever. He was pretty good at it. Like, that's it. Like, nothing special. No defining markers that set you apart from anyone else. You're just gonna be like the rest of them, pretty much. Absolutely mind-blowing. And like, Seneca has this quote that something about how you gotta face adversity to prove to yourself that if you lack facing adversity, you'll never be able to prove yourself. So confront and face the challenges and see what your limit actually is. See what you can do. Most people are just like on autopilot mode. They don't actually do anything. This isn't me trying to like crap on other people. It's just like, I want to see the world become as good as it can be. I want to see all the people around me thriving, doing their best, living their best, meeting their fullest potential. I want to see winners around me. Just don't get it. Like, watching this, have any of you actually had those thoughts where you, I don't know, have you ever actually wondered any of that? Or is this like all first time stuff that's got you like contemplating, thinking now? if you go to a coffee shop, if you go to a restaurant, by yourself, listen in on other people's conversations, and most of them, it's just like, oh, you're talking about a sports team, you're talking about something about people you know. It's like nobody's discussing how they can improve their lives, and it's like, why not? There's so much value in that, and yet people dismiss it. They consider it boring. It's like, you consider improving your life boring? Uninteresting? Almost all the books I read, I kid you not, like 75 to 85-ish% of the books I read are informational. Financial literacy, philosophy, psychology, dystopian stuff, maybe some science or something, like actual science nonfiction. Very little of the books I read are actual, like, fictional stories that I enjoy, because I want to get the value out of the books to improve my life, to improve my current position at where I am. And people just, when they hear me say that, they're like, yeah, but it's boring. I don't want to spend my time doing that. I don't want to just read boring stuff. So you want to stay where you're at? Like, come on. You gotta put in the suffering now to enjoy the fruits of your labor later. It's like that saying, 5 years of hard work now for a lifetime of freedom, or 5 years of freedom for a lifetime of hard work. And too many people are just short-sighted. They can only think of the short term. They don't actually think of the long term. Now, there is a point I want to get to in their defense. We never know when we're going to die. We all assume we're going to live long lives. So, like, you can't just, like, be setting your entire life away to prepare for, like, tomorrow. But you gotta at least be building towards a better tomorrow, and not just, well, I'll just, like, enjoy everything now. It's where you gotta find, like, enjoy the most of it now, but still have a heavy emphasis on building towards a better future. We're getting back to the books thing, like, most people see some guy drive by in, like, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, or have on, like, a nice Rolex or whatever. Somebody will have some kind of sign of, like, being rich or whatever, having a luxurious lifestyle, and everybody thinks, oh, I wish I had that. But nobody pays attention to the process it took for them to get there. Some people have to do all the hard work, all the boring stuff, to actually be able to get to it. And yet nobody wants to do that stuff. Doing that boring stuff, doing the stuff you don't want to, is what sets you apart from the rest of the people. That's what makes it the 1%. Part of me feels like this rant is just me saying the obvious. And yet, how many of the masses just, whether they don't care, can't process it, or whatever, so the takeaways from this rant, I would suppose, is actually try to see what you're capable of. Do the hard work now. And just invest in your future by what you do today. Still enjoy life. You don't have to have a crap life right now. But adopt a long-term vision. Think for the future. Think in the long term. Don't just have on these narrow, short-sighted glasses. If you do what nobody else is willing nor wanting to do, you will get what they only wish they could achieve. With that being said, think and reflect on that. Ladies and gentlemen, have an enjoyable rest of your day.